From Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner completely changing how they look, to Cher and Tom Jones looking amazing in old age. These are some of Hollywood's more expensive plastic surgery transformations. Starting with Kylie Jenner. Yeah, I mean, there's no one even loosely associated with the Kardashian-Jenner clan that hasn't had a ton of work done. And Kylie, the youngest of the Kardashian-Jenner siblings, is no exception. I mean, just look at a picture of how she used to look at 15, and then look at what she's become now. Sure, she looks good and has changed over time, but the amount that this woman has changed doesn't just naturally happen. I mean, her whole facial structure is different. Yeah, one look at a before versus after picture of Kylie makes it pretty clear she's had a ton of work done. It's estimated she spent upwards of $2 million on surgeries. Now, I've gotta say that she hasn't ever outright confirmed just how much work she's had done, but according to some very educated guessers, the star has had at least a nose job, cheek implants, chest augmentation, and butt implants. Honestly though, it seems like she got her money's worth because no one can deny that Kylie looks fabulous. Despite her insane popularity, she's not the most famous of her family, and she's not the only one who's gone under the scalpel. Yep, I'm talking about Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian shows us her plastic surgery scars, and I, for one, could not be more grateful. Thank you so much, Kim, for not photoshopping under your nose and your nostril area in this Instagram post.
Now, Kylie's transformation is pretty undeniable when you look at some of her old pictures, but still, the work that Kim has had done makes Kylie's surgeries look like subtle enhancements. Alright, at this point, I've gotta say that despite the very clear augmentation on Kiki's body, when it comes to her face, she still looks more like her natural self than her sisters Kylie and Khloe. Still, there's no doubt that Kiki's iconic body and look are the product of some very expensive surgeries. Much like her younger sister, the reality TV star dropped $2 million on body enhancements, and it's argued that she's pretty much had every procedure in the book. Yep, a chest augmentation, a nose job, liposuction, a tummy tuck, Botox, a lifted hairline, and of course, the family's trademark, lip fillers and butt lift. Yeah, that's a lot. And just by the way, I left a few things out. In any case, Kiki is an international beauty symbol right next to Kylie. So again, I guess that $2 million was worth it. Staying with the Kardashian-Jenners, there's one other member of the clan I just have to mention, the matriarch, Kris Jenner. Now, as I said before, almost all of them have had some sort of cosmetic surgery. And while I could just make this a video about the Kardashians, I'm gonna go ahead and move on after we talk about Kris. The momager set the trend for cosmetic surgery in her family because she was getting breast augmentations back in the 80s. Fans have even had the opportunity to watch her get multiple facelifts before special family occasions. Still, it seems the whole coy attitude around questions about surgery is also something Kris drilled into her daughter, because even though she doesn't deny using Botox, she's never admitted to having had a nose job as well as many other procedures. All in all, Kris has spent upwards of $1 million on her transformation, and while she looks good, for sure, there's one celebrity whose transformation has left them looking youthful even in their 70s. That's right, I'm talking about Cher. The goddess of pop was known in her youth for her incredible beauty, and luckily for her, she was able to preserve a lot of it through some very effective surgeries. Honestly, good for her, because a lot of celebs take plastic surgery too far, and the results can be horrifying. Cher looks great even at 70, and she's estimated to have spent upwards of $750,000 on various enhancements. Everything from rhinoplasties, breast augmentations, and facelifts to regular old Botox. So far, I've only talked about some of Hollywood's leading ladies and their incredibly expensive transformations. Next up is one of the most iconic male singers of all time. I'm talking about Tom Jones. And even though it may not look like he's had much work done, you can bet that this 70s sweetheart had some work done to keep his iconic good looks. I mean, all you have to do is look Tom up, and you'll see what I mean. The man's 82 years old, and he looks pretty good. Now, his transformation and the amount of money he spent is markedly less than the ladies surgeries I've mentioned so far, but it's still insanely expensive. That's right, this legendary singer spent close to $50,000 on his appearance, and from the way he looks now, even at 82, I'm pretty sure he's not regretting it. He's a legend for sure, but on the subject of legendary male singers who spent a lot on expensive transformations, there's one man you're all probably waiting for me to mention, the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. Yeah, opinions on this transformation are pretty mixed, guys. Let me just warn you, a lot of the upcoming transformations weren't very successful ones. Anyway, regardless of what you think about Michael's transformation, the guy spent a ton of money on it, and he seemed to be happy with it. He reportedly spent short of $1 million. I mean, considering that he had his entire complexion changed, it makes sense. Plus, the complexion change isn't the only thing the king of pop had done. He also had a rhinoplasty, cheekbone surgery, and a forehead lift. This is one of the most severe transformations on this list. But while Michael ended up looking how he wanted, some of the people coming up weren't so lucky. And one of these people is Jocelyn Wildenstein. She spent by far the most out of anyone on this list on her transformation. Unfortunately, she was one of the unlucky individuals who get addicted to cosmetic surgery. And after spending close to $7 million on her many procedures, she didn't look like how anyone naturally could. If you guys have any idea of how botched surgeries look, well, imagine that, but much, much worse. Now, Jocelyn is an extreme case, but there are others too whose transformations didn't go so great. And one huge example of this is Donatella Versace. Sounds familiar?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Donatella Versace.
First of all, I want to say I'm deeply honored.
Yeah, this is the same Versace that you're probably thinking of. Donatella's a fashion icon and sister of the world-famous designer. She spent $50,000 to achieve an unnatural look. Apparently, this is what she wanted. So, good for her. Still, I can't be the only one that feels like she may have taken it too far. Whatever you may think, this much is for sure. The fashion icon has gone under the scalpel many times, and over the years, it's speculated that she's at least had a nose job, a facelift, a brow lift, multiple fillers, and maybe some laser treatments. Much like with Michael, even though the public reaction to this transformation has been mixed, Donatella herself seems to be happy. One last example of someone who didn't get what they wanted, though, is Demi Moore. The actress spent upwards of $2,000 on her appearance. Unfortunately, one look at her will show you that things didn't go how they were supposed to. Demi used to be one of the most beloved movie stars of her era, and she was known for her beauty. Unfortunately, she took surgery too far, and you can bet that this transformation wasn't worth the cost. These were Hollywood's most expensive plastic surgery transformations.